Hello everyone, thank you for coming on by. Today we're going to take a look at the Lutea paints, which are a natural paint made by a woman who uses plant-based materials, and one of them has a bug used. This is the one that has the bug used, and the rest of them all are made from plant-derived ingredients. They do have a little bit of honey to them, and they are naturally textured, so you'll actually see the flakes in them when we swatch them out. I hadn't seen too much on these paints, so I thought we'd go ahead and take a look at the whole line. The whole line consists of 12 paints, and they're in 9 milliliter tubes. I can talk today. So let's go ahead and take a look at the whole range and swatch them up bigger than my little swatch sheet here. All right, we have our swatch sheet out. We're going to be swatching with a number 8 Escoda Versatile brush, which is a synthetic brush. And first up we have rose, or the red, and then the pink. Let's see how these do. They're very thick. But look at that color. Now these I would suggest using straight out of the tube. I have tried drying them in pans, and they do re-wet, but not to the full depth of color like they are when they're wet like this. So here we go on the red. And these paints don't move in the water. They're kind of heavy. I don't know how else to describe them. They're very heavy. And the little flecks are actually the plant material. She hand mills all these herself, directly from the plants themselves, not using pigments. Isn't that pretty? Now we'll do the pink. And these are both made out of madder. So just processed a slightly different way to give a slightly different color. I do love the texture that they give. They definitely have a unique feel to them. I don't think you need the whole line. I think picking out just a couple of colors that would work for you would be best. And let's move on to the next two. Now we have the Carmine, which is the one with the bug. It's made from bug. And the Violet, which is made from logwood. Let's go ahead and get this swatched out. I love this color. Spoiler alert, I really like these. I think they're a little different. Gorgeous colors. And now let's go ahead and see our violet. Take a That little bit of water there. They do take a little mixing in here. They don't, they take a little bit of dissolving. The paints are very thick, very pigmented. But they are very expensive, especially for the tube not being extremely large. So they move a little bit in water, but not extremely. They're very moody colors. Perfect. We're going to be moving on to the blue and the gray. The blue is made from indigo. And it's almost inky, the feel of this one. And then we're going to do gray, which is actually made from little bits of strawberry. You can actually see all the little bits. That's why you gotta love handmade. It gives an originality to it. Very granulating. And let's go ahead and move on to the light green and the dark green. Okay, we've got light green and dark green in our palette now. The light green has a lot of yellow to it. It's almost like definitely a yellow green. These I picked up on Jackson's. They also sell them at a couple other places, but they're more expensive than Jackson's for these. And this is made out of Meadowsweet and Indigo, this color. Let's see what the dark green looks like. This one also has a very yellow-green look to it, and this one's just made out of Meadowsweet. I'd consider this more mustardy. But you gotta love that texture. Definitely gives a different look. And we're going to get into the yellow and the orange. And I went ahead and I got our yellow and our orange into our little palette. And this yellow is made from goldenrod. I think this one is about the least textured out of all of them. Although you can still see a little bit of the speckles. And we'll take a look at orange, which is made from Cosmos. This orange reminds me of like a burnt sienna. Really like this one. And we're going to move on to our last two, which is the dark orange and the brown. Okay, I got the last two in the palette. Let's see, we've got the dark orange, which is made out of thyme. And the dark orange seems like it's lighter than the regular orange, in my opinion. It's a very light color. I'd say that is probably my least favorite out of all of them. And this last one is the brown, and it's made from walnuts. This is a beautiful brown. Very nice texture. Now, I feel that you have to use some paint to make these colors their full vibrancy. So let's wait for them to dry. I'll pull off the tape. Nothing like a good tape pull. And we'll check them out from there. Okay, we've had time to dry. Let's go ahead and get this tape off. The clear tape that I use is the Holbein tape, and I don't have trouble with it with any papers at all. It tends to come right off. The yellow tape, which I wish it wasn't yellow, tends to do a fine job. It's more of a painter's tape. in a really small width. I think it's like 1/8 inch width. And so let's go ahead and take a look. Let me see if I can get you closer. So we have the red, the pink, the carmine, the violet, the indigo or the blue, the gray, light green, dark green, yellow, orange, dark orange, and brown. In my opinion, I love the top row. Absolutely love it. I love the regular orange that looks like a burnt sienna, and I love the brown. I would skip the orange. The yellow's kind of iffy, and the light green's kind of iffy. And that can change from tube to tube because these are all handmade. So, and let me get you even closer. Hopefully we can get you. They're all very pretty, and they have a lot of texture to them. Lot of texture. The paper I'm using is, let me see what the pad is, Saunders Waterford hot pressed. So it's going to show even more texture on a cold press or a rough pressed. So you can get some really great effects. These colors are very moody. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And you have a great day.